Who I admire speech. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't give up. If you're wondering who said that, it was the one and only Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking will go down in history as the most extraordinary mind of all time. He is perhaps the most influential physicist of the second half of the 20th century, despite his visible abnormalities. I will start by talking about why I chose Stephen Hawking, and then cover two of his major obstacles that he had to overcome, and finally discuss a few of his successes. I chose Stephen Hawking because I admire his ability to live life and make the best out of his physical situation, as well as my interest in understanding the universe. But I have always been fascinated that he never stopped learning about it. And a lot of the stuff I know is from watching videos of him explaining it. I was struck by his boldness of him stating that God isn't real and stirring up a lot of conflict with a lot of people who believed in God. Aside of being known as a brilliant scientist, Hawking was also known for his humor and wit. Life would be tragic if it wasn't funny. That was another quote from him, which pretty much explains his perspective in life. He mentioned that humor has kept his spirits up, due to the fact that his expectations were reduced to zero when the doctors told him he only had a few years left to live. Stephen said that after those 2 years have passed, everything since then has been a bonus. One of the obstacles he had to overcome was his battle with his disease, ALS. I'm not good at pronouncing medical terminology, so I'll just keep it simple and say ALS. For those who don't know, ALS is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects the nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord, which he was given no more than 2 years to live. Stephen was eventually confined to a wheelchair by paralysis and was only left being able to twitch his cheek. Another obstacle was losing his voice after an emergency trigonometry surgery. That's basically his throat. After losing his voice, Stephen Hawking's verbal language differences was having to use a computer to speak. Using a computer to speak produced a robotic voice, which eventually created his famous identity. However, many people found it odd and different, but Stephen Hawking has learned to embrace it. He even at one point made a joke to have other celebrities to audition to be his new voice. One of my favorite options was Gordon Ramsay, which to me was like the best idea ever. Moving forward to his success, Stephen was well respected in his scientific findings which they named after him, the Hawking radiation, which was a groundbreaking theory regarding black holes and light. Using his knowledge of quantum mechanics and general understanding of I was gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh. Basically his understanding of quantum mechanics and general understanding of general theory of relativity. Another of his success in scientific field is his book, A Brief History of Time, which is his attempt to explain the Big Bang, black holes, and light cones. His central idea of the book was to present mathematics as well as to give an overview of those phenomena. Lastly, his acting career. Stephen Hawking aired in a handful of shows in his lifetime, which adds on to the list of success under his name. He aired in a couple episodes of The Simpsons, Star Trek, Big Bang Theory, and Futurama. Let me know if I'm missing any, but yeah. To wrap up things, basically the summary of everything is just because you become disabled doesn't mean you have to give up on doing what you love. And for Stephen Hawking, it was teaching people, learning, or exploring more about the universe. And finding humor in everyday life was magical to him. On that last note, I will be ending it with the quote. 1. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. 2. Never give up. Never give up work. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it. 3. If you're lucky enough to find love, remember it's rare and don't throw it away. All right. Thank you for listening. Bye.